It's Ollie, right?
Yes, sir.
Ollie, how old are you?
I'm 23. I'm 19. I'm 16. I have every right to be here. More than you, that's for sure. The Nazis didn't bomb Abilene, Texas. They bombed London, England. They destroyed my home. They burned my entire life to the ground, and now I want to do the same thing to the Third Reich. Go ahead, turn me in. I'll find a way to get to the front. How do you think I got to Tunisia? Forging transfer orders has become an hobby of mine. I will make it to France.
Don't worry, Ollie. Your secret's safe. I'm pretty sure the lieutenant isn't gonna say anything.
Thank you, Sarge. Thank you, Lieutenant.
But I have two rules. Keep your head down and do exactly what I say.
Yes, sir.
You don't listen to me even once, I'll turn you over to the Germans myself, understand?
I understand, sir. I won't disappoint you. Either of you.
Somehow this motley crew has been tasked with saving civilization. God help us all.
All right. Enough talking, training, and tests. It's time to go after the Nazis. We're sending you into occupied France.
Yes, sir.
Your first mission is to make contact with the French resistance. You'll be working with a cell led by Manon Baptiste, who's been our eyes and ears on the ground since the war started. Your rendezvous will be along the coast, at the St. Catherine Lighthouse. The Germans are using as an observation post. The resistance will give you a signal when it's safe to come ashore. You'll have 3 days to assist the resistance, gather intelligence on German activity, and sabotage targets of opportunity. Now, I'm talking about a small communications relay or a fuel truck, not anything like blowing up a train or destroying Gestapo headquarters. This is your first OSS mission. Baby steps. Now I want to introduce you to Huxley, our quartermaster. She'll get you set up with what you need, plus she'll give you some nice goodie bags for the resistance. 3 days in and out. Keep it simple. I'll see you on the other side. Dismissed.
Hello, I'm Huxley, your quartermaster. I'm here to brief you on weapons, gear, and all the threats you'll face. I'm backed up by a full model shop, a sewing brigade, and the best gunsmiths the Allied nations have to offer. Have a look around. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Well, this is quite the treat. Your friend Marcel made this custom for you in his workshop. Talk about something that goes boom. It's easily the most lethal sidearm we have at close range, though it comes with a massive bullet spread. There's also an intense kickback when firing quickly one-handed. Either hold it with both hands while firing, or take a short pause between each shot to account for the recoil. Spent shells can be ejected by simply jerking the weapon in any direction. After new shells are loaded, the barrels can be reset in the same one-handed way. Ah, your trusty sidearm, the semi-automatic 1911 A1 pistol. Reliable and accurate. It's quite useful at mid to long ranges with both hands and mid to short ranges with one hand. The magazine holds 7 bullets. Always keep it loaded. The semi-automatic P08 pistol. The Nazis love this weapon. If you get your hands on one in the field, be sure to show them the love back. As with other German pistols, the P08 has a larger magazine, but is slightly less accurate. This special weapon is on loan from Colonel Ebbets. Apparently it's a family heirloom. He calls it Uncle Nate's Rough Rider. I call it an exquisite Nazi killing machine. It can be fired entirely one-handed, with only minimal impact to accuracy. And it's the only rifle in your arsenal that can be reloaded entirely one-handed. While slightly less lethal than a bolt-action rifle, it's deadlier than any semi-automatic. The Rough Rider is best for mid to long-range combat, and it can be slam-fired by holding it two-handed while keeping the trigger squeezed. Just remember to cock the lever after every shot. The K98K. In the right hands, a weapon of extreme lethality. Every shot with the K98K is perfectly accurate when you hold it two-handed. Remember, all bolt-action weapons require racking the bolt between every shot, but the bolt can be racked with either hand. The Gewehr 43, an impressive weapon. It requires a bit more effort to reload than the Garand, but it comes with a larger magazine. It's every bit as accurate as the other semi-automatic weapons, but rapidly firing the Gewehr's entire magazine will cause its accuracy to go wild. The sergeant already told you how much he loves the M1 Garand. Everything he said is true. It's reliable, accurate, easy to reload, and easy to aim. Of all the semi-automatic rifles in your arsenal, the Garand has the highest stopping power. Its only real drawback is the low magazine size. The on-block clip only holds 8 rounds, but it auto-ejects quickly for a fast reload. Sometimes you just need a shotgun and nothing else will do. At close range, this weapon has no peer. Perfect for clearing corridors and bunkers. You have to pump the shotgun after every shot. Try doing it with one hand by making a brisk up and down motion. With some practice, you'll be able to pump your shotgun with one hand while throwing a grenade with the other. Germans will run in fear and speak your name in whispers. The M1A1 submachine gun. The weapon of choice for many American officers. 30 bullets in the magazine. Among the weapons in your conventional arsenal, the M1A1 has the quickest firing rate and causes the highest damage. But it has the lowest accuracy. Even when held two-handed, spraying the entire magazine at once will cause the weapon to go wide. Burst firing is best for mid-range enemies. For long-range enemies, using a different weapon is strongly recommended. In the right hands, this simple combat knife is every bit as deadly as a machine gun. A knife is always lethal when thrown at enemies. If your knife ever gets stuck on the ceiling, you can always shoot your weapon to dislodge it. And, with a little practice, the knife can be twirled and tossed between hands. Ah, yes, the Panzerfaust. A disposable anti-tank weapon with an extremely potent warhead. You need both hands to use it, but it packs quite a punch. The warhead's trajectory will arc when fired over a long distance, so adjust your aim accordingly.
Huxley, who is that?
Hopefully you won't encounter any Waffen-SS officers during your 3 days in Normandy. They are, as you Yanks are fond of saying, bad news.
Huxley? Who's that?
Watch out for the Waffen-SS. They are the elite of the German military. Highly trained and extremely lethal. They should be feared. And eliminated.
Huxley, who is that?
The Gestapo often work with French collaborators, who are traitors in the worst way. Not only do they help the Third Reich, They do it by betraying their neighbors, their friends, even their families. I can't imagine how tough it is for the Resistance. Not only are they fighting the Nazis, they're fighting their own countrymen.
Huxley? Who's that?
The Gestapo. The Nazis' secret police. Filled with miscreants and degenerates who couldn't make it in the regular army. The Gestapo terrorizes the civilian population at every opportunity.
Huxley, who is that?
You'll be encountering mostly General Wehrmacht troops as you travel the French countryside. But be careful. Even the most junior soldier has gone through extensive training.
Huxley? Who's that?
This is the uniform of one of the so-called Lightning Girls that works at Gestapo headquarters. Apparently, Mano's 19-year-old sister Juliet has gone undercover as a Lightning Girl in order to gather intelligence. A very brave, but very dangerous thing to do.
Huxley, who is that?
Imagine, if your country was taken over by the most powerful nation on Earth, what would you do? Collaborate? Surrender? Or resist?
Huxley? Who's that?
The French Resistance is made up of men and women from all walks of life. Everyday people who are risking their lives to liberate their country from the Nazis.
Huxley, what is the lieutenant holding?
A Higgins Industries PT boat. We have PT 305 at our disposal, and she has one of the best crews in the American Navy. They're gonna sneak you into France under the cover of darkness, then return in 3 days to pick you up. Don't be late.
Huxley, what is the lieutenant holding?
The bomb maker on Mano's resistance team, Marcel, is quite the tinkerer. I've heard you open a secret passage to his workshop by playing the French national anthem on his piano.
Huxley, what's the lieutenant looking at?
The St. Catherine Lighthouse. As the colonel mentioned upstairs, the Germans are using it as an observation post. So, Mano and her team have targeted it for destruction. Makes me wonder if there'll be anything left after the Nazis are done with France. Watch out for these German half-tracks. Not only do they carry a full complement of troops, there's a machine gun mounted on top that can quickly ruin your day.
Huxley, what is the lieutenant looking at?
The Germans are positioning troops all over Normandy using these heavy transport trucks. They're as ubiquitous as flies on a 4-day-old schnitzel.
Huxley, what's the lieutenant holding?
The Nazis love their tanks, both big and small. They've adapted this model to run on railroad tracks, acting as escorts for their trains. Don't bother with your rifle. Only an anti-tank weapon like a Panzerfaust can take them out of commission.
Huxley, what's that?
When conducting sabotage in the field, you'll often attach explosives to your target. In lieu of dynamite, practice attaching one thing to another with this decidedly non-explosive piece of paper. Then, light it on fire. Follow the instructions to ignite the lighter. Sometimes the smallest spark can bring down the largest target.
Huxley, what is that?
I asked the boys in the back to set up this ladder for you. You've been in the infirmary for quite a while, so make sure you feel comfortable climbing up and down.
Huxley, what is that?
When blowing something up, the detonator is what kicks off the festivities. Use both hands and push down on the plunger.